Away from that to Oyo State, the burial ceremony of the designer of the Nigerian National Flag, Taiwo Akinkunmi, is ongoing in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The ceremony, which is holding at the main bowl of the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium, acting governor of Oyo State, Adebayo Lawal, and other government officials are at the event to pay their last respect. Taiwo Akinkunmi died on the 29th of August at the age of 87 after a brief illness. Our senior reporter Oyo joins me live from the event for more details. Olaide, it's good to have you join us. What are you reading from the event today, and what's the mood in Ibadan at the event?
So, Olamide, a couple of minutes ago, the funeral ceremony of Akinkunmi was concluded with so many tributes being paid. And if my cameraman can see to the right, to my right, and that's the remains of Akinkunmi being conveyed to where it will be finally be interred. So, and being accompanied by members of his church and some students and members of his family. So, a lot of tributes were paid. So many things were said about him, including how he contributed to the unity of Nigeria and the so many awards that he was given. In total, he received a total of 30 awards in his lifetime for contributing to the peace and unity of the country. So also there were so many government officials present, especially from Oyo State. And the acting governor of Oyo State, Adebayo Lawal, said so many things about Akinkunmi, and one of the takeaways from what he said was that Akinkunmi should not just be forgotten like that. It should be immortalized by the federal government because of the legacy he has left in Nigeria and ensuring the unity of Nigeria with the flag and what the flag symbolizes.
Well, senior reporter Oyo, thank you for joining us. Now let's turn our attention to Oyo State, where the chapter of the Nigerian Bar Association is calling on the Theatre Command Operation Hadinkai to immediately adhere to the court order issued to the military, as no one is above the Nigerian law and the Constitution. This followed a case filed by the NBA against the military in Maiduguri, where judgment was given in favor of the NBA, but the military has failed to comply after several consultations. The NBA, the state, described the military's action towards the court order as an act of insolence and intimidation to the judicial system in the country.
Is to bring the attention of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the local and international human rights communities, the Nigerian Bar Association, and all relevant stakeholders in the justice sector to the imminent threat to our nascent constitutional democracy by the Nigerian army. This disobedience to an order of court should therefore be seen as an offense directed not against the personality of the judge, of the judge who made the order, but as calculated act of subversion of peace, law and order in Nigerian society.
The Commissioner of Police Delta Command, Obafemi Awolowo, says officers are ready to tackle any upsurge in crime as personnel have foiled multiple kidnap attempts and arrested suspects across the state. Ikena Mechi has details.
On parade here at the Delta State Police Command Headquarters, Asaba, are these suspected kidnappers arrested at Ebrumede, Uwe local government area, on tricycle with over 2.3 million naira ransom money recovered. They are among several kidnapped suspects apprehended by the police across Delta State.
Along the Patani-Ogara axis, we have usually had this incident of people opening fire on oncoming vehicles or outgoing vehicles and mass kidnapping of people. We have dealt significantly with that threat. And if you all will bear us witness that in the last 2-3 months, there's been no incident on that road. In the course of our discreet investigation, some individuals were picked up with this amount of money. Now, to the issue in Warri, yes, there was an attempt, and unfortunately, we lost 2 operatives. But also, there was a major engagement, and I'm sure you are aware of this, because we realized that if we don't engage, this will become more emboldened. So on this date, while they were trying to escape, they were engaged. As we approach the Ember month, as we enter the Ember month, every person who is preparing to go for Christmas, New Year celebration, there's usually an upsurge.
Some of these suspects, like this young man who used to be a mason, regret their action.
The boy that was kidnapped was not killed that very day, but we live in that very day. We collected 5 million from me.
One underlying factor associated with these suspected criminals are their illicit drug intake, as several drugs were also recovered from them.
You remember that each time we meet here, we have always paraded drugs, cultism, drugs, cultism. And you know that a lot of these incidents will only occur when these individuals are high on drugs. You can see there.
The police call for information sharing from members of the public towards better crime fighting and timely intervention. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.
The Federal Housing Authority is set to commence the regularization of property document of some of its alities in Lagos State and the Federal Capital Territory. The exercise is to afford alities in FHA estate in these zones who built without approval the opportunity to regularize their property document. The affected estates in Lagos State include Festac Town, Gowon Estate, Sherry Olofin 1 and 2, Satellite 2 and 6, and Navy Town, among others. Those affected in Abuja, Gwarimpa, Kubwa, Maitama, Sokoro, Karu, and Akoguzape area. The FHA advised affected persons in Lagos to visit the office of the zonal manager, while those in Abuja are to visit the office of the Executive Director, Estate Services, at the head office at Sokoro, Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. The federal government has also trained its researchers, scientists, technologists, and support staff in the Federal Institute of Industrial Research. The objective is to enhance capacity building towards meeting Pharaoh's strategic contributions to the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu's administration. We have more details in this report.
Gathered here, scientists, researchers, and staff of the Federal Institute of Industrial Research. They are here for a training geared towards building their capacity for effectiveness. This two-day workshop and seminar is part of the government's plan to resolve food crisis issues in Nigeria, poverty reduction, and job creation using research as a tool.
Working round the clock to ensure that fellow members of staff meet up with global best practice standards. Our laboratories have state-of-the-art equipment. Some of the equipments are peculiar to our laboratories. Some are only found in few labs in Nigeria.
The federal government also held insinuations that the institute is moribund, noting that it's working to enhance productivity.
I think the management of the institute discovered that there is need for staff to be aware of the provisions of the public service rule in order to boost their conduct and their performance at work.
This is the time we actually need to know what exactly the public service rule is, what it entails, and how to keep ourselves abreast about all the information in the rules to guide us, all our operations in the institute, so that the mandates and the mission of the institute will be achieved.
I will advise the staff, to take the training seriously and whatever they need to learn, so that they will open their eyes, they open their ears, so as to imbibe all that the resource persons will teach them, because it's going to help them improve in their career and also help them to achieve the ultimate towards the realization of the Institute's mandate.
The two-day seminar ended with a renewed vigor from the staff to deliver on the renewed hope mandate of the President.